breaking news: decertification scare away investment in tourism in Colombia. If you're not familiar with my channel, I report the news for Central and South America with a special attention on Medellin, Colombia, and Colombia as a whole. I do these videos for visitors who want to know before they go, as well as for expats who want to see the news in English. Quick heads up, Americans in Colombia applying for a visa now need an FBI background check. Get yours in 24 to 48 hours using oncallcolombia.com. The contact information is below and in the description of all my videos. Make sure you tell them Rob sent you. Let's jump into this first story. And again, after this story, I'm going to play the mayor in English because obviously he ain't happy. And I'm talking about the mayor of Medellin, Federico Gutierrez. Let's jump into this story. Uncertainty surrounds travel agencies, hotels, and air transport. For the first time in nearly 3 decades, the United States has included Colombia on the list of countries that have demonstrably failed to fulfill their international bird control commitments. The measure announced by the White House marks a historic turning point in bilateral relations and raises questions about the future of economic, commercial, and financial cooperation between the two countries. Victor Ramirez, BDO's audit partner in Colombia, does not rule out significant effects on the economy and on key fronts such as foreign trade, foreign investment, financing costs, and the impact of exchange rates and inflation. Decertification marks a turning point in the relationship with the United States. Beyond the diplomatic blow, its consequences will be felt in the real economy, he anticipated. It's a blow to Colombian tourism. The Travel Agency Association, Anato, expressed concerns about the decertification of Colombia in the fight against GERDs announced by the United States government. We have been working collaboratively with the public and private sectors in Colombia, making significant progress in consolidating its position as a reliable and competitive destination. We have also joined forces with Pro-Colombia to enable travel agencies to participate in international fairs and promote our tourist attractions, driving visitors' arrivals to our country. Likewise, significant investments have been made in promotional campaigns and to strengthen air connectivity. Initiatives we cannot afford to miss, explained Paula Cortez Calle, president of Anato. In a statement, the association noted that tourism depends on a destination's reputation for safety and stability, and this could lead to stricter travel warnings, which would directly impact the interest of international travelers in visiting Colombia, especially from the United States market, which is one of the main sources of tourism to Colombia. Likewise, it would impact negotiations related to the opening of airline operations in the country, improving the flow of air routes, investment in tourism infrastructure, international competitiveness, and the influx of foreign currency, and would give greater ground to the positioning of other destinations in the region. Investments in tourism are on the decline, they say. Although the decertification was barely announced, its effects remain to be seen, but it is expected to curb investment in various sectors, including tourism. Anato recalled that in 2024, foreign direct investment closed at US $14.2 billion, which translated to a 15% drop compared to 2023. So far in 2025, this trend continues and is not unrelated to the tourism sector, as in the first quarter of 2025, FDI in commerce, restaurants, and hotels reached US $65 million, down 87.3% compared to the same period in 2024, when US $511 million was obtained. Recently, Cortez commented that the growth of FDI is crucial for the country's tourism sector. It not only contributes to the financing of strategic projects that enhance the traveler experience, such as road, airport, and hotel infrastructure, and the development of tourist attractions and destinations, but also helps improve the quality of service delivery, promote technological modernization of the industry, and help Colombia increasingly stand out on the global tourism map. The news of the decertification came days after the ICCA, Latin America and Caribbean Summit 2025, the most important event for the meetings industry in the region, was held in the capital of Antioquia. The summit sought to strengthen the city's position, generate a significant economic impact, and attract future international conferences, a goal that decertification would hinder. According to the Bureau of Medellin and Antioquia, The meetings industry is a key driver of economic development and the international reach of cities. Specialized events, such as the one promoted by ICCA, generate significant impact in sectors such as hospitality, transportation, gastronomy, commerce, and cultural offerings, in addition to boosting the arrival of international visitors. In Medellin, this industry contributes to diversifying the economy, attracting foreign investment, strengthening the city's image as an innovative city, and consolidating lasting knowledge and business networks. For now, the idea of restoring Medellin's prominence and placing it amongst the top 10 cities in Latin America for attracting international events will have to overcome the obstacle of decertification. In air passenger transport, ALTA, the nonprofit association serving the airline industry, released air traffic figures for Latin America and the Caribbean, showing a 4.4% growth in July. In Colombia, ALTA highlighted that after 5 months of declines, domestic traffic grew 0.6% year-on-year in July, although it accumulated a 1.7% decline in January through July, affected by traffic originating in Bogota, cumulatively down 4.6%, which accounts for more than 30% of the total. In contrast, the international passenger market grew by 6.7% year-over-year, driven by increases with neighboring countries: Ecuador, 12%, Brazil, plus 27%, Peru, plus 21%, and Venezuela, plus 11%. The Ministry of Commerce confirmed that Colombia continues to strengthen its appeal to international travelers. In July 2025, the country received 444,000 non-resident foreign visitors, 21% more than in June of this year, and consolidated its position as the month with the highest number of foreign tourists so far in 2025. Compared to July 2024, a record year of foreign visitors, the number of tourists increased by 6.8%, suggesting that 2025 figures will be surpassed compared to 2024. But in light of decertification, will it be possible to achieve this goal? The answer remains to be seen. For now, announcements made by airlines such as Wingo, which plans to expand with new routes and products, remain in place. On the international network, for example, Wingo will launch its new Bogota to Guatemala City route on October 27, with 3 weekly flights and nearly 40,000 seats available between October 2025 and June of 2026. With this operation, Wingo will be the only low-cost airline in Colombia to offer this direct route. Here's the vision of Paisa businessmen. Nicolas Posado, president of the Antioquia Inter-Union Committee, stated that the decertification is a consequence of the government's tolerance and camaraderie with crime, girl trafficking, and its failed total peace program, which has only increased the rates of homicides, kidnappings, forced displacement, and other issues, as well as increased inequality and poverty. The decertification of Colombia in the anti-GERD fight by the United States has a strong economic, political, and social impact on bilateral relations with our main trading partner, as well as on the security matters. For 3 years, we have seen a strengthening of these groups which threaten our freedom, democracy, and fundamental rights, he noted. Posada emphasized that thanks to the great efforts of the Colombian business leaders, mayors, and opposition congressmen, the sanction was waived, which avoids immediate sanctions and allows for a period of up to 12 months to demonstrate improvements, without completely cutting off cooperation and aid. From the Antioquia Inter-Union, we demand that the national government commit to the fight against GERD trafficking and rid the Colombian countryside of all the violence associated with this crime. Colombia needs President Petro to abandon his imaginary imperialist battles and focus on addressing our country's most urgent needs, he concludes. Okay, headed to Medellin, complement your vacation with a professional massage that will have you rested and recharged. For professional, experienced, and quality massage in Medellin at a good price, call Andrea. She specializes in deep tissue massage and sciatic nerve release. No need to travel. She comes to you. Contact information is below in the description. Now, I also wanted you to hear what the mayor of Medellin, remember the mayor of Bogota, Barranquilla, not sure about Bucaramanga, Cali, Bogota, Cartagena, they all met in the United States and met with their counterparts there, or at least whatever the representatives they were supposed to meet with on the U.S. side. So the mayor has done his work, meaning Mayor Gutierrez and the other mayors of the major cities in Colombia too. Obviously, they're not happy with Petro. So they actually, and if you recall, Petro didn't want them to be able to go and leave the country to represent the country. Obviously, he wanted to be the big boss, and make sure that he was the guy that sent people, but he ended up not stopping the mayors from going. So the mayors went. Now the mayor is back and he ain't happy. He's not happy about the decertification, but I'm sure he's pleased that there's a waiver. In other words, it's all technical. The money's still going, at least right now. Now, how this affects the other things that I just went over, we shall see. Okay, so let me let you hear from the mayor himself. Check this out.
Unfortunately, the country is once again in a situation it experienced 30 years ago. Unbelievable. We haven't seen this since Samper was president, and now we're seeing it with Petro. Look, I was in Washington last week for meetings, and we met with both Republican and Democratic senators, as well as government officials like Deputy Secretary of State Landau. I was able to see firsthand that Petro has done everything possible to damage the relationship between Colombia and the United States. We spoke on behalf of our cities and also on behalf of millions of concerned Colombians. And our visit and our agenda definitely yielded good results, because even though Colombia was decertified in the fight against drugs, support is not being withdrawn. Support for our security forces remains. Moreover, they themselves highlighted the work we are doing against crime from the cities, from our municipalities, from our cities in Colombia. The message here has been clear, and we also conveyed that in the meetings. There are 11 months left of this government. The United States, if it withdrew support for our security forces, the country would end up being completely taken over by the criminal organizations to which the Petro government has given every opportunity and all kinds of help. Here, Petro has sided with the criminals, and that is what we are witnessing today. We went to speak on behalf of Colombia, to speak up for our security forces, for our police officers, for our soldiers, for all our military personnel, and to ask that this support not be withdrawn. And when you look at the statement the United States has issued regarding decertification, it specifically highlights the value of our security forces and the work we are doing from the cities. It is a subnational relationship, and we are going to continue building it. So in all scenarios, even with decertification and everything, the door remains open to continue collaborating with the cities, to keep working with the security forces, to ensure that jobs related to trade are not affected, and that support for our security forces in the fight against criminal organizations is not withdrawn.
So there you go. Obviously, he said his piece. He's not happy. I don't know if he's going to run for the presidency or not. I don't know when their terms are over, but if Petro is out next year, I don't know if he's been mayor, 3 years? I don't even know if it's been 3 years. Somebody let me know, how many months does it need to take? Well, I will find out in the meantime. Anyway, you are up to date with the latest out of Colombia and US-Colombian relations and with the decertification, and will this stand and how it's going to affect you. Is it going to stop people from going? Yeah, it's going to stop some people from going. Turmoil is turmoil. It's, I talked to my mom the other day, and it had to do with going back to D.C. And she brought up one thing. It's occupied. The streets of the city are occupied. Do we really want to go home? And I was like, you know what? You're right. D.C. ain't the place for me. With the army fatigues walking around the city, it's just, times are changing, guys. Anyway, you're up to date with the latest news out of Medellin, Colombia, Colombia as a whole, and US-Colombia relations. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to travel, but travel safe.
Thanks for hitting like. Thanks for hitting like. dcbornrob.
So, hey, girl, thanks for coming by my place.
No worries. You mind if our girlfriend can come by with us?
Hell no. This is why I watch DC Rob. Headed to Medellin, Colombia? See my guy Andres with Nomad Travel for safe airport pickups and drop-offs and tours. Contact information in the description below.